Jacinda got a BA Film and Media Studies here from Otago in 2017. And after graduating from here, she went on to study a Master of Fine Arts Creative Practice in Film Production at Victoria University of Wellington. She's directed, written and produced an internationally award-winning short film, which I'm sure she's going to tell you about. And in early 2019, she moved to Auckland, where she took on a role as a digital marketing coordinator for junior learning, producing online videography content for children's educational toys and learning guides. In October 2019, she joined an Auckland-based visual effects studio as an assistant VFX producer for clients such as Mitsubishi, McDonald, Screenies, and Disney Resort Shanghai. How interesting. And then in June 21, so relatively recently, she moved back to Wellington after hearing about an epic sequel being produced by Wētā, which was no other than James Cameron's Avatar sequel. And that's what she's involved in at the moment. So Jacinda, welcome. And thank you very much for doing this for us.
Hey, thank you for that. Yeah, so I'm Jacinda and I graduated from my Bachelor of Arts in 2017 with Media Studies and History, as it was said. So yes, I'm working at Wētā now and I've been here for a year working on the same film, Avatar 2. It's a very big film. We've got people here who have been on the film for the last 5 years. So this has been going on forever. I bet a lot of you would have seen Avatar 1, so that came out 12 years ago now. So there's a lot of anticipation and expectation relating to Avatar 2. So yeah, we can scroll through these pictures. It's just a few stills from the film. Incredible artists from all over the world, the best of the best, really. So yeah, just to talk you through my role. So I work as a production coordinator within what we call the lighting and comp department. So it's right at the end of the VFX pipeline. If you don't know what VFX is, it's visual effects. I tend to just use a lot of lingo and then forget, people might not be aware. So to outline my role, it's really scheduling feasible targets within a 2-week schedule. Every day we have to hit, it could be anywhere between, I guess, 4 to 10 targets, but that's on a day-per-day basis. And every shot requires a lot of dependencies from upstream departments. So with me being at the end of the pipeline, we require dependencies from layout, assets, models, animation. There's a lot going on and all these departments can work in unison or are dependent on one another. So there's a lot to track, and that's my job as a production coordinator, is tracking this so my artists can pick up what they need in order to deliver their shot. So yeah, I also coordinate VFX supervisor and director reviews. I guess coordinate all the supporting material that is needed for this. And I guess something that's quite important is for me to report any scheduling conflicts to, we call them show production. So that's the central crew that managed the overriding schedule for this film. As you can imagine, it's huge. There are thousands of shots. So we have, a core group of show production who I need to report to in order for them to monitor the progress and ensure the delivery of this film. And yeah, so I also manage and support every artist on my team. So in my team, I have about 40 artists, 45, and a lot of them are based here in Wellington, but others are based in Vancouver. We have a Vancouver studio, also in London, LA, Melbourne, all over the world, really. So we have to work with a lot of different time zones. And yeah, effectively communicating client creative notes with the team. That's also something I do daily. We get notes internally from our VFX supervisor, notes from the producer, John Landau, and also notes from James Cameron. And these are notes we can quickly turn around within our department, or it has to go back to the start of the pipeline. And that could be a 2 to 3 week turnaround. So yeah, there's a lot involved in my role, but I love it, as we will see in the next slides. This is just an overview, I guess, of the whole pipeline. So you can see there's a lot going on. It's quite involved and complex, but it also shows the varying roles within this industry. I mean, I graduated from a Bachelor of Arts and I'm in a very production-centered role. So that's mostly organization skills and scheduling skills. Is very admin-based, really, but you're working with all these departments and all these creative artists. So there's lots of different minds at play and different, I guess, values and skill sets which are brought on one team. Yeah, I guess next slide. So what inspires me to work in this industry? Not a single day is the same as the last. We get all kinds of notes which we have to think on our feet in order to turn around notes in order to meet the director review the next day, or to really push the boundaries of what we know as possible. Essentially on this film right now, we're delivering the impossible is what we call it. There's things that you'll see in this film which has never been done in visual effects before in any film. It's the highest budget of any film. So there's a lot of resources going into it, but a lot that we're still trying to solve and really get to the bottom of how do we sim this water simulation? How do we resolve this? And we are putting the best brains on the team, but still there's a lot to uncover. But it does challenge us daily, day to day, in terms of scheduling. From a scheduling standpoint, it is a difficult process when it's never been done. A lot of research is involved. But yeah, I think that's part of the fun. It's not a thing that's just the same or ordinary. It is so out of this world. And then I guess what we create in the end is a visual spectacle. It's something that we can be proud of, the audience can be proud of, they can enjoy, they might not enjoy it, but it's really cool to see how the world reacts to the things we create, not only in this film, but to any, I guess, visual medium. You're putting it out into the world, and it's great to see the expectations, if they're met, if they're not met, we know what we would do differently in the future. That's all very interesting. Yeah. So I guess we touched on this in my career progression since graduating. So I did do a Master of Fine Arts at Victoria after graduating, and that's where I wrote and directed a short film called Night Shift. That screened in festivals internationally. It's screened in Arizona, to Berlin, to some very small countries as well. I can't even remember the amount of countries it screened in, but it definitely made its way globally. And then I just moved to Auckland, where I did more videography. So that was more not broadcast television, but more online content. And then I can't remember the year now, 2019, that's when I moved to Blockhead FX. So that was a smaller boutique visual effects company in Auckland, which mostly focused on commercials, music videos and short content. So I did a couple of short docos, mostly charity based actually. I worked with, I guess, singer-songwriter Lorde, and even VR content. And then it was June 2021 where I moved to Wētā, after hearing about them spending years and years working on Avatar 2. I guess so these are just three things I worked on. So The Justice of Bunny King was a New Zealand feature film, and that was released last year. And then Solar Pals, that was all of Lorde's music videos. I think she's released 7 last year, if I'm correct. And then I Am Mother, so that came out on Netflix a few years ago now. I don't know if it's still there. So if I were to offer any industry insight, it's just the power of curiosity is a big one. You have to have a strong passion in order to survive, to get through the day. It can be grueling. It's very long hours. I've worked from, I guess as short as 40-hour weeks to as long as 80, 85-hour weeks. And you'll find that when you wrap up a project, when you only have 4 to 5 weeks to deliver, the hours get longer and longer. And everyone just pulls their weight together to try and just, get through it. And so I think that's quite cool as well. There's a lot of collaboration. We're all working towards producing something quite creative that everyone can be proud of. I guess for you at university, I would say to get amongst every opportunity you can. Whilst I was at Otago, I was still attending conferences to do with screenwriting, directing, attending workshops. Sometimes I'll travel out of Dunedin to just go to a filmmaking workshop that was taking place elsewhere, and just train yourself in all the tools available. I think the BA program is great in order for you to find your particular interests, whether it's like film history. There's a practical filmmaking course where you learn studio production. All of that's quite beneficial to the industry, but also it's quite valuable to go out of your way and try and learn what exactly do you need to, like the tools, the software you need in the industry. And that's something that not even film school really teaches. So it's good to just get out, do your own research and see what you need to succeed. And yeah, I guess let your passion, desire to learn speak for itself. We have people of all industries working at Wētā. There are people from science backgrounds, people with BAs, people who study philosophy, politics, but somehow they ended up here. And I think the difference is they love film, they love what they do. They would do it every day for the rest of their lives, never complain. So have a passion, it will get you far. Yeah. Well, thank you.